we're not gonna act like women don't cheat. Y'all cheat and leave.
No, I'm not a woman who cheats, so I leave. But women do cheat.
Any
Absolutely.
women that cheat?
Women are some of the best cheaters.
Any women in here that cheat?
Okay, y'all, come on, this is safe. Her right there. Her right there. She's a cheater. She's a cheater for sure.
She turned me on. I say that she
said.
She ready to cheat right now.
Hey, you in a relationship?
Like
You in a relationship right now?
Just different.
Who can tell me what they favorite, if you fuck with the show for real, what was your favorite like moment or episode on the show?
When Kim was so mad that we was talking about.
Oh my God.
That's my favorite episode by far. That's the only time we ever argued on the show.
That's the only time we ever had an argument on the show, literally. Yeah, I was
Niggas
so
was pissed.
blue because I was just like, y'all are being so petty and bogus right now. Like, please.
So you don't think Russell
like-
Wilson corny? You still don't think
No. No, I love him. Okay.
I love him too.
Like, but you still say he a corny nigga.
I'm cool with a lot of corny niggas. There's nothing wrong with being a corny nigga. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh man, yeah, that was a great memory, TJ. That was
Yeah, that was
sure.
one of the ones. All right, so today we're gonna do our last episode together. Cam is moving on, starting her own show on FC Network. How you feel?
I feel good, honestly. I feel like, I don't know, like the Terry Realism podcast kind of like carried me into this. I never ever like before that thought about podcasting
For sure.
in any sense ever. Like,
sure.
I listened to certain podcasts, but I wasn't like one of those people that was big on podcasts or audio, period, honestly. So he asked me to be the co-host. I honestly didn't expect for it to last 2.5 years either. I thought you were looking for something to, at the end of the day, you had already been like going for 2 years. Mm-hmm. So I thought you just needed, something to like fill in the space at the time. But then we look up, it was 1 year. And then it was 2. Then it was like, oh shit, okay, like I'm really a part of this. Like now we traveling, and then we grew so much like as a network that it was just like, damn, like I'm really a part of this. Like this really
You
something
thought
I want
this
to
shit
do.
was part-time.
To be honest, like I honestly don't know why you even asked me to be a co-host. So it was just like,
You lived around the corner.
okay, shit. Yeah, that's
It was
true.
kinda cool.
That's true. It's like convenient. But it was
Yeah.
also like before that moment, that point, it was like, okay, I can go on there and talk. Cause at the end of the day, for those who don't know, like I'm a singer, so entertaining, it come easy. Like that's not something that like, it wasn't a nervous thing. It wasn't something like, oh, I'm gonna talk in front of people. No, it's just a thing like, what the hell you want me to come talk about? Like you want me to just sit in front of the camera and talk or whatever. But when I first got on the podcast, like I was in a relationship. And like my views were like, kind of like, I don't know. They was screwed a little bit because like you don't want to say certain things because you don't want to like make your partner feel a certain way, or you don't want to, and it was a fresh relationship. So it was like, damn, I want to be real, but like, I don't want to be too real where your nigga be looking at you like, I ain't know that, the hell. So it was like, I wasn't really like being myself. Like I was doing it for Terry's platform. Like I was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say what's right, what feels right. I'm gonna still be real, but I'm going to constrain it like down to a, But then I wasn't in a relationship anymore. And for those who was watching at that time, like you saw the shift. Like, not necessarily the shift in like my views, but just the shift in how I express my views. And I think that, I don't know, that's one of them things where I say like, that was just like right timing for me, because it was honestly looking back, it was a relationship I shouldn't have been in. I probably wouldn't have been able to see certain things that was wrong if I didn't surround myself with these men who was like telling me like what was up, what was real, the perspective from men, like, and that gave me a real unbiased opinion, because it was just like, damn, like we really got to be a team, and men and women be against each other when really in reality we both need each other, and we just need to figure out what works. So eventually it kicked in for me that was like, damn, I really enjoy this, and like I don't want to leave. Like I do want to be a part of this. And now it's like transitioning and like moving forward and evolving. I can only thank like the podcast for that.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think for me, from the jump, like from the first episode, you just came on as a guest, just like to do one episode. But you was like, you didn't hate niggas. You might have been one of the first guys on the podcast that didn't just hate niggas. But then you also held niggas accountable. But then you held women accountable. So I'm like, all right, this is like super. I feel like you was unbiased already.
Facts.
You was a little reserved, Then you got out that relationship, shit, you know, shit went up.
I was like, phew, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know?
It was literally, y'all, one episode. Like, I think, like, I feel like we had took a break. Me and a nigga broke up or whatever. We got back to recording, and I wish I could remember what our topic was.
I think the foreplay episode was the one that kind of like shot shit up.
It just went
crazy.
skyrocket.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it just changed from then. Like I said, like, it didn't change my views, but the way I expressed it was just like, damn, like, I should have been expressing it like this because I shouldn't be in a relationship with somebody that where I feel like I gotta.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up.
Shut up and dribble.
Yeah, shut up and dribble, basically. And I shouldn't be with nobody like that. And I feel like, damn, not gonna say that I would still like be in that situation today, but I think if not for the podcast, it would have lasted longer than it should have. For sure.
Was I there for the first episode?
You always been here, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, yeah.
But, like,
You're Roger.
The
Like,
first episode, I was there.
I don't know.
My guest
'Cause
episode.
I feel like I just kind of like popped in one day. And
I don't think you was there for the first episode.
Yeah,
No.
I think I just kind of popped in and Cam was there and it was like, oh,
Hey, Cam's here. Yeah, and I'm here every time.
And it
Yeah.
was like after that, it was like she was drinking 40s and shit. I was like,
Damn, you don't drink 40s no
For
more.
those who have been watching, yes,
I was like,
40 shorty for sure.
I was like, Cam's gonna be around. She drinking 40s, we getting high, we chilling, like, and it was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was different. In the brown paper bag though.
You gotta keep it in the bag. If you take it out the bag, what's the point?
The 40 in the bag. That shit was different.
But I'll never forget that. Like, we knew each other. Like, I was around, but like, I hadn't been around long yet. And like, when I pulled up with that 40, like, motherfuckers looking at me like, you think you know a person. Like, you think you know a person.
She really had a 40 in the
No,
bag.
I really drank the 40. Like,
Yeah.
Compton vibes.
Malt liquor.
Yeah.
Oh God. Hey.
It was a beer. I think it was a.
look, guys,
MGD.
look, I am who I am. It was not. I'm an OE type of bitch.
It was an OE.
So
Could
yeah.
have been the MGD.
Look, I am who I am, y'all. I'm not ashamed of me, you know?
So we usually break down relationship topics. That's our thing.
That's usually what we do.
We're going to get into a lot of things that we learned from this podcast later on, but I did see some shit on the internet that I wanted to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like I'm going to call it the 80-80-80 experiment, right? Because everything was 80%. So they interviewed a bunch of men and a bunch of women. This woman who wrote a book, she interviewed all these men and women. She surveyed them. And she asked them, if the opposite sex had 80% of what you wanted, would you move into a relationship with them? Would you be with them? 80% of men said yes. That's a win for a woman to have 80% of what I want. 80% of women said no. I would be
settling.
I would be
They're
settling.
I heard that. I saw that.
I can't say they said no, but they said I would be settling if a man only had 80%. So women are looking at it like 80%. That's it, and niggas is looking at it like, damn, 80%. I think they smoked.
No, men are smoked for sure.
No, I
But
think
in
women are
turn,
smoked.
women are smoked as well because men are smoked. And I'm going to just tell you why really quickly. So, of course, a man would say, like, oh, my God, damn, 80%? Like, shit. I can go without the 20 because I'm not going to find 100 in anyone. And that should honestly, I'm not going to find 100 in anybody should honestly be anybody's mindset because it's true. But in regards to when men look at a woman and say, you have this 80%, I can deal without that 20. They can, only for so long. Women know from the start that there are certain things that they cannot not have. So for us, not having certain things that are 20% indeed feels like settling. It's certain things that are not interchangeable. So you could have 80% of all my check boxes, but if this something is missing that's important to me, then that's settling.
How many women have settled before? Raise your hand if you settled for a nigga before. Raise your hand and keep your hand up if you would do it again. Y'all fucking lying.
Yeah, okay. Oh my God, thank you, Jody, for saying something like that. That is exactly like the kind of response that I needed to say. But if that dick was in the 20% of not hitting, are you dealing?
Damn, so if it was like 80% of the shit, but the 20% was the dick, was y'all...
If the 20% was anything that you're not gonna go without.
Hey, y'all want to be. Y'all want to be.
That's crazy.
As far as the men, y'all can deal with that. Y'all can deal with the 80% for so long. When 10 years go by, 15 years go by, 20 years go by, oh my God, that 20% start beating y'all ass.
15
and now y'all cheaters.
If we last
And that
15% without cheating,
and that is also why
successful.
men, the divorce rate in regards to men versus women, who's trying to leave first, is men.
No,
because
it's
y'all
not.
settled.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
Hey, but it's crazy.
Google search.
Google search
just-
right now. Statistics. Who divorces?
Who wants to do the Google
But
search?
it's crazy. Y'all just said y'all. Hey, hold on. So I feel like we just established that y'all are settled for some good dick. That's what we established. Did we just see that? Did we just? I feel like that's what we just saw.
That's what they
I
just
feel like
said.
that's what we just saw.
And 60% of other things. You can just tell me I'm wrong, goddammit.
But
Everybody know women do already.
By the wife. Okay.
70%.
Jesus. Okay.
What does that tell us though? Like before we even go into
Not
further
ungrateful.
shit,
Your mama should be ashamed of you.
but what do that? But does that say that women are the reason that divorces are being initiated, or is it the man did something, the woman initiated the divorce? Because what is that number really saying?
That's the thing.
All,
We
all
don't
it's
know.
saying is that the woman
Until you
took the
ask
initiative
every woman,
in a
like, okay, did
relationship.
the man cheat? Did the man? But I feel like, yeah, we all know that that's mostly why. So I don't have to go
might not
that
be.
deep. What do you think the reason be? Well, someone in the audience just said that women don't commit to relationships, and that is the problem. So are you saying that it's easy for women to leave because of that?
You might
Oh,
need to-
wow.
You might as well just come to the mic because she just asked to.
Okay, come on. Come to the mic, man. Why are you playing?
Say I'm a cool nigga. I don't use my feet in public, nigga.
I like those boots, by the way. Those are nice boots.
Oh God, the bitches is fly.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we
Good?
can.
Y'all ready? This shit kind of small. So, apparently, or to my knowledge rather, women don't commit to relationships because the minute something hits turmoil or the minute you don't feel that you're getting consistency out of the relationship, you kind of emotionally detach yourself. And that's usually how it is. So, I mean,
I'm not gonna
men,
say you're wrong.
on the contrary, are usually the ones that if we not getting where we are, we at least trying to fight for it.
Yeah.
Like we really at least trying to be like, all right, cool, well, could we talk about it? And then if we feel like our feelings or what we saying, we're not getting no traction, we'll still try to fight for it until you leave, and then we realize that we shouldn't fight for it no more.
For sure. And I think the reason for that is that men are more about keeping their word.
we never leave anyway.
And that's not true. I left every bitch I've been with.
He
That's
loves
on you.
saying that. He be like, I ain't never, I'm a leaver. Fucking.
But most,
I would leave a
but
bitch.
most
I would leave
niggas
a
don't
bitch.
leave though, right? We get left.
I don't know
don't
what
leave.
niggas be doing.
Most
I would
niggas don't
a bitch.
leave. It's true. Most niggas don't leave. Most niggas will make shit bad enough for the woman to leave.
Hey.
Most niggas will make shit bad enough for
We
the
gonna force
woman
you
to
to do
leave. Right.
Yeah. But I do feel like
Okay, not you say, let me let you keep your self-respect.
We want y'all to be able to brag about that shit.
hey, I'm gonna remind y'all again. If y'all got like I need y'all to come to the mic so we can hear what y'all saying.
Okay, I want y'all to kind of unpack this for me because if y'all saying that women leave, right? Women don't commit because they leave, but men are making our lives miserable.
Wait. He never said men. He didn't say that women leave. He said that women emotionally detach.
He said women emotionally detached and
Yeah.
they don't commit.
Yeah.
They don't commit.
Never said they leave. He never said that.
Okay, so they detach emotionally. So
He's
they didn't
innocent.
leave. So who left?
He didn't say anybody left. He said that women aren't committed because they're emotionally detached. That's what he
If
said.
you're emotionally detached from something, then
We're not
you're
gonna
already
make any
leaving.
assumptions.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. But please unpack this for me. If men are making the situation unbearable to the point where the woman has to leave,
Who said she gotta go?
Let's finish your
Shit,
question.
that punch
Finish your
against
question so
the
we can
side of her
answer it.
head? Probably.
Cam just said it, and that's why I asked her to repeat it because he just said that women aren't committing and they're emotionally detaching from a situation. Why would someone want to emotionally detach from a situation if,
He said when turmoil.
when it gets
Right.
when it
All right,
gets
let me
challenging.
answer your question. Go
ahead.
So this is the thing. Men are less emotional. We're more logical, right? And we are more about keeping our word. So regardless of how we feel, we're going to stay in a relationship regardless if I'm not feeling it, I am feeling it. If I said I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. Niggas are cheat. I'm not taking that away from niggas. I'm not saying niggas are going to be perfect in the relationship, but niggas are more about keeping their word. Women are a lot more emotional, and it's about how I feel right now, right? And that's the reason why women will emotionally detach, or it just fluctuates up and down with women. It's everything is based on how they feel, how niggas make them feel. Most women in relationships don't even like the nigga that they're dating. They just like how the nigga makes them feel.
You don't think men are in relationships with women they don't like?
I didn't say anything about men. I said women.
Well,
So we're not gonna deflect.
You know you cannot do this.
We're not gonna deflect, right?
I'm not
do
trying
this.
to deflect, but I think I don't like when we say like, oh, women are doing this and men are doing that. When we
I don't
know
think a
that
man.
men
I don't think most men. I don't think a man would get in.
Thing.
I don't think a man would get in a relationship with a woman he don't like for real. I think a man will realize he don't like her way before the relationship, and especially if he getting the pussy already. If a man is fucking already, he's not getting in a relationship with a woman he's fucking and doesn't like. He gonna have her in a situationship for 7 years.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. What you gotta say? What's going on here? No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
The fiance.
Come on, let's go.
First, I want to start off by saying I'm 100% agree. This man knows what the fuck
Oh
he's talking
my
about.
God.
He know what he's talking about.
So you feel you wouldn't get into a relationship with a girl you didn't like?
No, hell no. But I'm saying that you can emotionally leave me, but I won't emotionally leave you. But I'm gonna be doing my own thing on the other side. But I still got you in the raps type shit. Cause I like you, but still I'm gonna still be doing what I'm doing on the side. Feel me?
I feel you.
That shit, it's just not enough to just
Nope
like
that.
you type shit. You feel me?
Nope that. No, I'm just playing. Noted.
But
no, I feel that. I mean, honestly, I just had to tell my sister girl, like, unbiased opinion. That's why I'm here. I'm with you when you're right. I genuinely cannot name a true time where I know that it lasted for a lengthy amount of time where a dude realized, oh, hell no, bitch. Like, you just is not it, and didn't get the fuck up out of there. I feel like women, we will really start to weigh the pros and the cons when we know that it's pretty much all cons. We will find that one pro, dick, and be like, I can stick through it, I can stick it out though, like, but you know. Money. And some, to be honest, shout out to those women. I can't do it for the money.
Even for the women, it's not for the money. They're for the experience. So it's still about the money.
Okay, so the luxury, the of
things.
it all. Yeah,
all of the
yeah,
things.
so true. Yeah,
if you know how to do the things with the money.
Not direct money, but the experience is money. Yeah, so
sure.
true. Yeah.
I think it all comes down to non-negotiables, and we talk about this so much.
Yep.
But that's what it all comes down to. It all comes down to knowing ahead of time, these are the things that I need to make a relationship happen.
And not willing to go without them.
And the rest of the shit is negotiable. Mm-hmm. But I think with women, nothing is negotiable. I think a woman will come into a situation and whatever she don't like would eventually be the thing that pushes her over the edge.
Oh, you're saying if she tries to look past it in the beginning, eventually it will come up again.
But for example, non-negotiables, like for me, I always say a chick that's passionate, affectionate, understanding, great communication, and spontaneous. So I got those 4 things, we can make the relationship work.
Okay.
Right? It's other shit that can be wrong with that. You could be a self-centered, rude ass bitch.
Damn.
But that's not a part of my non-go. We could make it work if you understand it. But it's like you got to know that coming in. Like, these are the things I need at minimum. It's gonna be shit wrong with you. You're gonna have flaws. I need to be able to be willing to negotiate those flaws or find humor in those flaws. Like, laugh at the fact that you're a selfish ass, rude ass bitch. Like, this bitch rude as fuck.
Yeah,
like,
it was really a tweet on Twitter today that was like, it was like the moment that, it was a dude actually. He was like, the moment a bitch get to telling me what she don't do, I be like, I'm out. And then a girl quoted it and was like, no, for real, I think this is how both men and women should feel. She was like, I got like 5 things in my boxes, and then this nigga came with like 307. And I was just like, don't even worry about it. So I think it's just all depends. Like, I think women do have a lot of things that go into like, I gotta have this, but I think it all comes from experience. I've met men like before I was in the space that I'm in life, like before I was able to take care of myself, before I was able to, like, if I'm looking for a man, like, oh, you got to do this, this, and the third because if you want to be with me, blah, blah, blah. Now I can take care of myself. Now I do all the things for myself that I want a man to do. Now men got to come in a different fashion, and I see what men be talking about when they also are whole and take care of themselves and don't really need a bitch for shit.
For sure.
So it all, it's like.
Yeah, but I just think when you walk into a relationship not knowing what you're willing to tolerate, that you don't like, it's
makes
like
it
you already. No, I feel like when you don't know what you're willing to tolerate, whenever that thing comes up that you don't like, that's gonna be the breaking point. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of got to know what are those specific things that I need for this shit to work.
Absolutely.
And if you don't know that, then you're gonna feel like you settling as soon as a nigga do something you don't like.
Absolutely.
Like, the nigga got great sex, but he don't eat my pussy enough. I don't know if I can do this. Bitch, relax. like
this is good, but
you want to jump on the mic, bro? Pause. You want to get on the mic?
No, I was gonna say about non-negotiables. I feel like that's why most relationships don't work. Yeah. Because I feel like we go into it with unrealistic non-negotiables, and a lot of things can be worked on. And I think we kind of lose the idea that relationships really a partnership. So you should never go into a situation was like, oh, I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that. But why? How you my partner? You ain't willing to be in the mode. So if we together for 5+ years, you know I'm gonna change. You gonna change. My love language might change. If you're not willing to bend, we not gonna make it long term.
And it's a red flag for me when somebody say what they not gonna do, because it's like if you don't know that you're ever growing and ever changing, then listen. If we growing and evolving, you gotta be a smarter person to know like it's not gonna always be the same. You're not gonna always grow together. Once you lock in and decide to grow with somebody, y'all grow at different paces.
What if you're not your type no more?
If you're not my type anymore, after a certain time period, that has to go so deep. Like my type, it's not surface level anymore. So you gotta go so deep beyond the surface to not be my type anymore. Like you gotta really do some shit.
What if y'all was married to a man and 10 years in, he's not your type anymore? What do? Let's be transparent. I'm talking to a married woman right now, right? I'm talking to this chick right now. She's married. I don't know what we're doing, but we like it's cool. It's a nice situation, right? And she's been dating a guy since they were like college, like early college, and they're about mid-30s, going into late 30s now.
Okay.
And she's like, I'm married. She's not happy. She's like, when I met him, he was my type of guy. If I met him today, he wouldn't have a shot.
Okay.
But this is this is the nigga that you lay next to, a nigga that's not even your type, right? What do you do?
I mean, to be honest, like I'm leaving.
It don't depend on shit. Like whatever you want to imagine.
I'm leaving.
You don't like this nigga no more. Like that's the end of the story. Like,
I mean, honestly, I know myself, so I give it a year. I feel like I can put myself in the position to deal with whatever's happening for a year, and that's a year of communicating to you. Not I don't like you, nigga, but like. Something's changing in me. And we need to figure this out. You got a year. You got 365 days.
Hey, so check me out.
If things don't start, the flame don't get lit again then no, I have to go.
Okay.
So are you facing like kids?
Hey, no.
So when I be speaking about what I be speaking about, I can
you
only
gotta repeat his question.
So he's asking, am I including kids? Am I including business? I only speak on the standpoint in the position that I'm in right now. So if I was married right now, I have my child, I obviously wouldn't be married to her father. It would be another man. We don't have children. We don't have any business together. We don't have, this would be the standpoint. I would be good to go. It would just be what it is. I'm not one of them people that is gonna beat a dead horse. He over here nodding his head. That's what I'm talking about. Women don't stay committed. Hey, call it what you want.
So check me out. This is crazy because I have a cousin. He's married. He's been married for about 5 years now. He stayed in Chicago, moved his family out of town. I'm not gonna say where because he may be listening. And so I ain't gonna put it back. Moved his people out of town. And he said one day his wife just woke up like,
I don't want to do this.
Nigga, you ain't my type. Ooh, basically.
Nah, she woke up and said that, but she's been feeling that way.
She had somebody else for sure.
It's been.
That doesn't just happen.
And that, see, you said what you were saying, Cam, was discussing what you could do to get it together. She woke up on some.
Get out.
I know. I'm not attracted to you.
Pack your shit.
You don't look like the nigga I want you to look like no more. Like she woke up on that type of time.
That's wild.
Like she been wanting to say it, but it wasn't just like some things you could have changed. It was like, cause certain things you can change about you, but certain things you can't. So she came at him on
Man,
like
it sounded like she got some of that new dick from that
she
new
came at
nigga,
him
and then
on
she
some-
tried to fuck that
She came
nigga
at
for the
him on
last
some-
time.
and what
That
she-
shit wasn't
and-
hitting for shit.
and
She woke up and was like,
and she left. So when you
Got a
said you
blast.
leaving, y'all gonna leave. And that's the crazy thing. We be the ones settling. Cause you can get big, fat,
And
and
that's
whack.
what I
Motherfucker
said.
still gonna be
But
good. You can get big. You can wait. He said I ain't dealing with no bit. But check me out though.
even
But no.
like,
But no,
past
check
the
me
funny
out though.
shit.
But check me out though. Check me out though. When I like you might not deal with a chick that you, but like I say, a chick that you got something with, maybe a chick that, like I say, you've been a chick you've been married to, a chick you got kids with, a chick you may deal with her till she big, whack, and fat. They gonna leave as soon as you turn it to the nigga that they don't fantasize about. You over with. You smoke.
I mean, y'all do the same and cheat.
We be the nigga settling.
Y'all
It
do the
don't be
same
y'all.
and cheat though. Y'all do the same and cheat. We leave, y'all cheat. We leave, y'all cheat. Yo
That's
bitch
fair.
get fat, y'all cheat.
That's
My
fair.
nigga get broke, I leave. Instead of cheating with the rich nigga.
Y'all cheat and
like,
leave, though.
What, like,
We're not gonna act like women don't cheat. Y'all cheat and leave.
no, I'm not a woman who cheats, so I leave. But women do cheat,
Any women
absolutely.
in here that
But
cheat?
Women are some of the best cheaters.
Any women in here that cheat?
Okay, y'all, come on, this
I'ma
is
say
safe.
it. I'ma ask
Her
you one
right there. Her right there. She's a cheater. She's a cheater for sure.
She turned me on. I said that shit.
She said.
She ready to cheat right now.
Hey, you in a relationship? You in a relationship right now? Yo.
She said.
You in a relationship right now? No. Okay, cool.
Hold on. Damn, why you telling her business? Not her business. Her
This nigga
business.
got the yearbooks up to 2024.
Damn.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, what I was going to say is that I think that women realize that men will say that they'll actually change and they won't, whereas women will try and change their behaviors that men are not satisfied with.
We don't believe that. TJ, you got something?
Damn, neither one of us be changing our behaviors if we being honest.
That was terrible.
So,
and niggas would rather change the bitch.
Change a diaper, baby.
So,
Man, that's what I'm saying.
No, we committed to you, but we got nothing.
It's the same thing. You want someone to not know that you are really fucking crazy and need to talk to the lady. She don't know that about you.
Let's take TJ.
So I agree with Cam, but I think that's niggas' problem. When we don't like a woman no more, when she not trying to be the woman that we want to like, we need to get the fuck on. Instead of cheating, instead of prolonging the relationship,
Everybody
get the fuck
needs
on.
to get the fuck on.
It's for example, people get comfortable, they start gaining weight. You had my children, you're gonna gain weight, that's totally fine. If I see you don't want to try to get in the gym, you don't care to try to get your body together afterwards, I'll go to the gym with you, X, Y, and Z. I don't give a fuck if the whole world. You're
I'll
a
play
horrible
trainer.
person. She has your kids. I don't give a fuck. I don't like it.
Niggas hate being the bad guy.
I think men need to take a page out of women's book. When women say they want a divorce because the spark isn't there anymore, they just don't feel loved anymore. That's basically
And
what
this
they
is
saying in
thing
so many words. I'm not attracted to you. I don't like you.
And
I
women
want
vocalize
something.
these things. And men feel like because we're married, I don't have to listen.
You're not changing, and so women will get the fuck on for that reason.
I need romance.
Men need to do
I
the
need
same
romance.
thing.
I need flowers. I need dates. I need da-da-da.
But it said till death do us part, not
You know what I'm saying?
until
We should
attraction
not
do
lie.
us part.
Like men to stay.
You make me feel dead
Men to stay
inside.
with a woman because you know if a man leave a woman for whatever reason to better himself because he feel like she not moving, they'll look at men.
It's
and be
looked down
like,
upon.
Yeah, it's looked down upon for a man to leave for any reason other than cheating and abuse.
A woman to leave, baby. It's like, oh,
If a woman leave because you don't tell her you love her every morning, that's right, queen.
Yes, sister.
He don't tell you he loves
But
you
we
every morning.
don't measure our actions by the opinions of women though. And I think that's another thing is that we gotta stop measuring our actions by the opinion of the opposite sex. Like, I don't give a fuck if all the women in the world hate me because I left my bitch.
You said you don't give a fuck
matter
if what?
If all the women in the world hate me because I left my bitch.
Oh yeah, who gives a fuck about that?
Niggas care. Niggas don't want to be the bad guy. Niggas don't want to be the nigga on Facebook.
Niggas don't want to be the happy guy either.
This woman help. I don't give a fuck.
But I digress, cause me,
Hey, hold
I'm
on.
gonna
So,
be happy.
We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on from this topic. We're gonna move on from this topic and get into some other stuff that we got to get into before it's time to wrap up. But again, if you want to chime in on the conversation, walk up to the microphone. All right, we're gonna get into just talking about the end of the show, man. Not even the end of the show all the way, but just what we learned on the show. So, I looked up the definition of an expert. Like 5 years ago.
Okay.
All right? And an expert is somebody who has a comprehensive knowledge, a comprehensive and authoritative knowledge on a certain topic.
Okay.
You've been talking about relationships for 2.5 years. And I know in your preparation for the show in Cam's Corner, you do research. You don't just like talk out of your ass.
Facts.
Sometimes I feel like you're talking out of your ass.
I just talked out of my ass with the divorcee rates. For
But
sure.
when it comes to Cam's Corner time, you're not talking out of your ass. Do you feel like you're a relationship expert now?
No.
Why not?
I do not. I don't feel like I'm a relationship expert simply because I have not reached the pinnacle of my ideal relationship.
Okay.
So until I'm married, and not just married, until like me and my fiance get married and we get past all the kinks that happen when you're still getting to know your partner and all of that, and things just start to flow, then I'll feel like I'm a relationship expert because I figured it out.
But that has nothing to do with being a relationship
for
expert.
myself.
That don't have nothing to do with being a relationship expert.
I can't.
Does a doctor have to be healthy?
They should be.
Does a good doctor have to be healthy?
Me and my friend was talking about fat nurses a while ago.
It be doctors that be cold, but they be unhealthy. It be some fat ass Arab doctors.
I guess, but also like fat doesn't dictate healthiness though too.
There be some unhealthy doctors.
It's people bigger than me that could probably beat me in the mile.
What I'm trying to say is,
I'm unhealthy as shit.
The shit that goes on in your personal life don't got shit to do with your job. The shit that go on in your personal life don't got shit to do with your job. It don't. It's accountants that's bad with their money.
Yeah, that's
it's financial advisors
they
that
can't be bad
they
with
know
your money,
what to
though.
do.
Yeah, that's true.
But they have their own impulses.
Yeah, that's true.
As individuals. I mean, practicing what you preach is cool, but it don't mean what you practice isn't. You're not good at what you do.
It depends on the fit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, so I guess, but I guess it's one of the same things as like, would you take marriage advice from a single person?
No, but
a person who's never been married.
No. I don't think that's a good idea.
So it's like I'm not an expert because I have not reached every plateau. I feel like I'm damn near not an expert unless I get a divorce.
Well, I don't think I'm not asking if you're a marriage expert. Just you've been in relationships though.
That's true. That's true. I honestly don't know.
You can jump in whenever you want.
I'm gonna say no.
Pause. Go ahead.
We should. Okay, go ahead. We should make a pause reel.
Oh, I don't got time for that. But no, I do think that's something that I've never claimed myself to be any type of expert or anything.
Like expertise.
But I do think enough people come to me for relationship advice. It's just like, damn, why are you coming to me for this advice? But I do also feel like I always say, when emotion is high, logic is low. Mm-hmm. So even when it comes to business, right? When it comes to the business and podcasts and things like that, y'all know with FC Network, I can break down exactly what you should do for your podcast, what events you should have, the way you should, like everything, the typography, the colors, the everything, right? But I can't do it for my show because I'm emotionally attached to my situation. So I'm so scared to make a mistake in my situation that it's hard.
Touché.
Like everything is blurry. But I can see your situation clearly.
Touche.
And it's the same thing when people come to me for relationship advice. It's like, nigga, why the fuck? Like, this is so common sense. But then when I get in a situation, it's like, I love this bitch.
Okay, yes. Okay, now that makes sense. Now when you say that, that does make sense because when people do come to you for advice, I guess you do kind of like put yourself in their shoes. And you're only putting yourself in their shoes mentally, not emotionally.
Exactly. So it's clear.
It's clear. So yeah, you're right.
But that's the thing about relationships though. Can you really like prime example, like if they tell you like officers can't be a detective on the case if it's a family member, some shit like that, right? Do you not feel like that emotional part of it is the most important part of that relationship? Because I was asking back there, like with change, men have to conform so much for a woman's comfort that in turn our emotions that we didn't even know we had just kind of come out of nowhere through our effort to conform.
Let's stop. Men choose to conform
Absolutely.
so much for a woman's comfort. They don't have to.
Well, no,
I think women would like us. I think women would be more attracted to you if you didn't conform to how they
Absolutely.
feel.
For sure. 100%.
Absolutely.
Bro, we live in a society where they run down. And I'm not, okay, when I say the word conform, I mean like some of conforming is getting out of your own way for the betterment of the relationship.
Okay.
So like conforming could simply be like.
That's not conforming though.
Well, let me give an example.
Okay, you're right.
No,
sorry.
just.
I feel like conforming is more so going against your grain. Like things that before it actually happened, you would not have dealt with this shit.
Like I used to splurge money, but I choose to save now because my girl.
That's
me being
growth.
around her.
Yeah, that's
growth, conformity. I mean, I'm using the word conform. I know it's a negative attachment to conform because it's like again, you don't want to, but that's what I'm saying. Like getting out of your own way for the betterment of a thing. Like men and women, that
was for the betterment of you.
No. I feel like it's for the betterment. If I'm a man that
if y'all
No, I'm saying it's gonna help. The point I'm making is that anything that help one can essentially help the other.
I was gonna say it's a compromise. It's a sacrifice.
What I'm looking at is a conformity. And I'm sorry.
I'm looking at it as something you don't want to do.
I'm looking at it as something that
anyway.
just benefits her though.
Only
like
her.
So you don't want to do it, and it's just to benefit.
Like
how
she tells you,
feels.
like, hey, I know you be having Friday nights with your guys, but I know that's the only day that I got off. So can you not do that anymore?
Where your friends
You be like,
But
damn,
the
bitch,
word
that's the only day that I have to clear my
But the word
mind.
conform just means to comply with the thing. It doesn't necessarily. I get what you all are saying, but I mean, like, if you know that I'm conforming for your Friday, that means I'm complying with it. That's not a negative thing. Some conformity is necessary in a relationship. Like a lot of the issues we got now, people are so hell-bent on making everything their thing and it has to go their way. So there is no compromise, no conformity, and no comfort being built to grow. Everybody wins. And I'm not saying that it's always that way. I'm just saying, like, for men, women are more prepared for relationships. Can we agree on that? More prepared. Like mentally, they want to be.
I agree with that.
I'm just saying, they want for commitment. That's more. Yeah. And so when it comes to that, we have to be open to that thing and sometimes allow her to pour into us because then we're able to grow. Now, conformity comes through that because it'd be a lot of things that, damn, baby, I don't want to, but for you, I will. I never did this for nobody, but for you, I will. And sometimes we get a grasp on what women do naturally. Women naturally cater to us. Right. So conforming for some men might not be spending money on them. It might be going places with them, doing things like that. Now
I'd be like shit like cooking and cleaning up after y'all.
And I'm saying, like, women are attracted. I think women are attracted to both, depending on the woman, because there are men that don't dress a certain way, but then they get with a woman and it's like, damn, I ain't never put on a suit and tie. I conform to comply with the scenario of us going out to brunch. I'm not in jogging pants and Air Max. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not. Conformity is a good thing, but I get what you said. You don't want to conform too much because then you start to lose yourself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, let me see what we talking about. What are some lessons that you've learned since being on the show?
Some lessons that I've learned since being on the show. I have learned that it's not what you say. It's how you say it.
Somebody cussed you the fuck out.
I feel like honestly, I think that when it comes to like trauma, like childhood trauma, like shit like that, I think that like stuff from like early on like kind of builds you, like builds your character, and like you kind of become that early in your adulthood until you decide to change it. Like until you decide to heal, until you decide to whatever. So the shit that I went through my childhood and like the trauma that I had in my childhood, it made me very loud and outspoken. So it's a lot of stuff that I didn't speak on when I was younger. So I got older and I got in a position to like, yeah, can't nobody fuck with me and I'm gonna say whatever and can't nobody stop me. Like, what you gonna say? How you gonna be mad at me saying what I said? Like, so I think that.
Once you realize you can fight?
That as well. Like, yeah, I could back this up too. So that don't make it no better. So it was like, but once I became an adult, and also like the podcast, like having to hone in on what I'm saying and not just be like talking it because it makes sense in my head, but actually making it make sense to others because other people are listening. Mm-hmm. And it needs to make sense. So that was one thing. But more so, not even just the lessons that I've learned, just how I've grown as a person. Just as a communicator. Sure. Like talking, being able to express myself on a calm front.
I've definitely become more social doing
the podcast. Yeah, for sure.
I think the thing that I learned is about people because I track the numbers. And it's kind of sick, but I feel like I learned that people would much rather be entertained than educated. When we first started the podcast, I was in a crazy space in my life. So I was like wilding out and doing all this crazy wild shit. And that's what it was based on. It was story time. I was just talking about all the crazy shit that I did in college and after college and things like that. And like our first season, when you came on the show, numbers was like in fucking insane, right? And then I was in therapy. I was already in therapy.
Right.
But I wasn't learning shit. Like I was still like a wild ass nigga.
Yeah.
And then the therapist, we had that session and the session hit. And it'd be like, I be telling niggas to go to therapy and niggas be like, oh, I've been in a bitch for like 4 sessions. I ain't like, bro, it took me 8 months. Cause the therapist is
But
trying
niggas won't go for 30 days.
Facts. And the therapist is trying to piece together the puzzle of you from as far back as you can remember, which is probably like 4. And she's asking you questions about shit that you forgot it even happened. Like making you remember shit that you forgot even happened.
That you compartmentalize, yeah.
So she's going back from like 4
Yeah.
to 30 and piecing this puzzle together and finding that missing piece and showing it to you. And you like, damn, that makes sense.
It's hitting different. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it took 8 months for that to happen because you going from 4 to 30. And then we had that episode, and then we came back to season 5, and I'm like, nah, we can't just be talking crazy no more. We gotta say, we gotta have a real message. Like, I'm different. I grew up.
And the numbers was like,
and the people was like,
that's good for you. Clap, clap.
We kind of like when y'all niggas was on some funny shit. You know what I'm saying? And shit changed a lot. So I had to find the balance between that and trying to figure that out. Like, how do you entertain while also educate, while also be inspiring and all these other things. And it's a hard balance. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, for sure.
It's a tough balance. So that was a crazy thing to learn, man.
Yeah.
What's up?
You feel like you was emasculated by men early? Like now you're emasculated by, I don't want to get on the mic, but that's a good question though. Do you feel like you were emasculated by men early and now you're emasculated by women?
Do I feel like I was emasculated by men?
Early.
I don't think I ever.
Tap into your feelings and you feel like you're emasculated by women now.
Give me an example of a man. I don't get it. Can you explain to me?
All right, cool. The example would be, as a guy, growing up, they tell you, don't cry, don't do this, man up, do this.
Got you.
Early. Now, you even got women telling you, be a little bit more understanding, be a little bit more, you know what I mean? Like,
soft, a little bit more.
So men are trying to make you be hyper masculine, young, and then when you older, women are trying to make you be.
I wouldn't say emasculated as a man early. I would say overly emasculated.
Yeah.
Versus now when you emasculated.
Absolutely. I always say, like, a lot of times black men raise their sons like pit bulls. Like, we treat our kids like, we treat our boys like pit bulls. It's like, if you hurt, shut the fuck up, don't cry, do some push-ups, da-da-da. We train niggas like dogs. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of guys, right? For me, I don't feel like it was that bad. I feel like I was a timid kid. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what I was good at. I feel like, I hate that I say this all the time. I don't know if my father's going to ever listen to this podcast. Hopefully he never do. My father was a great guy. He took care of me my whole life. But my father didn't know who he was, so he couldn't tell me who I was. And because I didn't have that, I had to figure that out, like, on my own. And it took me till later, like deep into my 20s. So that was my personal issue. But I do feel like that's a relevant thing for most men. I didn't have to deal with it. I was the only child with a lot of older cousins. So all the street shit, they dealt with. Like, I didn't even have a fight till I was older because my big cousins was like, niggas couldn't do shit to me. Like, you know, I was just very protected and sheltered as a child. Which, when I had to go out on my own, now I'm timid because it's like I ain't used to conflict because I never had to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So it was a little different for me, but I think that's a very valid point, though, at the same time.
Like, pause, but like...
Cam drunk so much liquor, she got to go piss.
What was that one thing that a woman did that, like, kind of opened you up to being more... You know what I'm saying? More in tap with your emotions. I don't know why it's so hard for us to even say that shit, but more like, you know what I'm saying? But like, more in tap with that other side. I'll say that other side.
I don't know. I don't think.
I mean, it could, even if it's not one, because sometimes I know for me, I had like a season of things that were happening, and it's like every little thing that happened just kind of chipped at this rock. and then at
I'm
the
more
same
on
time,
that. I'm more on that end.
Okay.
And I don't think it was all about women. I think for one, I was never hyper masculine. I never had to be. Right. So I never had that issue. I was already kind of in tune with, like, I was never put in a space where it was like bad to be emotional, or like niggas was telling me, like, I never had, my father went on no pit bull shit with me. So I had space to do all that. But I didn't understand women enough, or I didn't understand empathy and all those type of things. I think for one, having my son made me a lot more empathetic just naturally, caring for somebody in that way. I think two, therapy helped a lot. Being a teacher helped a lot. You know what I'm saying? Being a teacher, I'm teaching in Inglewood. I got kids who seeing shit that I didn't see till I was damn near grown at young ages, like seeing murders and shit like that. So now the level of empathy is on a whole different level, because some of the kids I'm teaching is kids that you might see walking on the street and look at it as a threat. Like, I'm gonna have to do something to shorty. I see a child, you know what I'm saying? But this nigga make the news, now he, you know? So I got a lot of empathy from teaching. That was a lot of empathy. Now I'm doing therapy, so I get a lot of empathy from talking to my clients and shit. But also, yeah, I think it was just something that was just like kind of natural for the space that I was put in life. But also, therapy was huge. Therapy was like crazy for me, like 180. But I also went through a lot with a woman who I have a child with. And like, when you get a child with somebody, you stuck together. It's not like we gonna get into it and never talk to each other again like the rest of my exes. Even then we cool. But like, we gotta deal with this. You know what I'm saying? And dealing with that made me like, I have to understand or be miserable with this situation. I'm either gonna learn to understand you, I'm gonna be miserable. So I chose to understand. And I learned that like none of this shit is about me. Like nothing you do about me. Like no matter how I feel about it, like that shit wasn't about me. That's some shit that you got going on, right? And I could understand that. But yeah, it was like being hurt by a woman, I guess in therapy was, but it was other shit that didn't have nothing to do with women too though. So yeah.
To answer his question, you asked like what did a woman do to like kind of bring more empathy out of you? To break the levee. Like for me, and I'm only saying this because there's women in the room, and y'all could use this. So
you want us to break the levee for another nigga?
I mean, y'all ain't dating me. Nah, but what a shorty did for me is, I know it's gonna sound cliche, but not only did she listen and she told me like, nah, it's cool, there's a safe space. Even after she said that, her actions never changed. It never got thrown in my face, she never even indirectly made me feel less than. It was just a complete, I could say what I need to say, and I don't have to filter it. And to this day, I only did that with one woman, her. I be feeling like I still got to filter certain things, because I do feel like you cannot tell your woman everything. You can't just open up to your woman in totality.
So my thing is, how do you feel like that worked out for you in regards to you all not being together?
What you mean?
Like, what can you say? Like, what are the actual positives? I'm pretty sure when you did that, like, did you think that this was something that was going to last? Like, why did you open up to her?
No, that wasn't even that wasn't even the first one. Yeah, that was probably like 4-5 years ago.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I'm asking, like, how do you feel now, knowing that you've done that and nothing came from it?
You know, so I didn't do it to get something from it. I needed to get that out, and she saw it, and she created the space. I mean, if it would have worked out, cool. But
okay, that's what I'm asking, really. Now, are you
some
comfortable?
Successful relationships don't end up with you being together, though.
Yeah.
No.
Just because y'all not together, I mean, the relationship wasn't successful.
Like some of the friendships that you end up developing, those are still like relationships. It's just that y'all not being physical.
Oh, you saying being friends after y'all break up? Yeah, that's unrelatable for me.
This is the question. This is one of the best questions of all time.
That's not true. You didn't know me at all. That's why we're not together.
That's not necessarily true. One of the best questions that's ever been asked. You ready? What's more important on the mission, what you get or who you become?
What's up for grabs? Like, what am I getting?
What you getting is more important than who you
Depends
become.
on what I'm getting.
But if you become who you need to become, you could get it over and over and over and over again.
Okay.
Right?
But what is it?
It's whatever.
But that's on you as an individual. Like, well, what I'm saying is this: like men and women breakups are different, right? So with women, they be like, fuck that nigga forever, but men be lingering. Like sometimes we be like, damn, I really did. Every man, we learned something from the women and that season that we were in. It assisted us in this transition to being either more empathetic, more sensitive, more opening. But typically, if I ask a woman something pertaining to an ex, it's that fuck that nigga, he didn't know me shit. And it's like, well, whoever you were in that season, y'all share the season.
There's
so,
yeah. And that's just more accountability. But it's even this though.
I'm saying at the end of it all, the person that caused the most pain typically damn near will have to go through the most growth.
Right. But it's this though too, right? And I was gonna use a sports example, but I wanna this is more for women. So I'm gonna use a business example, right? So let's say you wanna start a business and get from point A to point B, you wanna become a millionaire, whatever your business goals are, right? Let's say your business goal is to start a business and become a millionaire, correct? So you move forward, you start this business, you have to have a crazy level of discipline to accomplish this goal. And you realize that along your journey. You have to have a crazy level of mental fortitude. You have to, your self-worth has to be more than your self-doubt. You have to go through this whole transformation as a person to get to this $1 million. So what was more important, who you became or the $1 million? The $1 million is the result of who you became. So you could keep getting more millions of dollars because now you're this person who's disciplined, who has self-worth, who has all these things. So who you became, you got what you got because of who you are. And that's what's important, is who you became, not what you got. So fuck what you got.
The journey always priceless.
Because somebody could have gave you what you got without you going through it, and you would never be able to get it again. But it's time to move on to the next question. Cam.
Yes.
Has this podcast on the show every week talking about relationships and sex and wild shit and past experiences and cheating on niggas and all type of shit.
I did not. I did. Look at all my clips.
All the niggas you
never cheated on niggas.
Has it done more to help or hurt your personal relationships?
Help.
Really?
Absolutely.
I wish I had that experience.
What?
In what ways, though? I want to hear.
Damn. Because I just look at it as it was all about my view, period. It was all about how it helped me grow as a person. If somebody that I was seeing at the time and was watching me on the podcast and after that relationship and I started piping my shit, everybody that I dated after that, if you had a problem with anything that I'm saying on here, bye. Cause I'm not saying anything that isn't real. I'm not saying anything that I haven't experienced. You're saying fuck my experience. You're saying fuck the shit that I've been through. Mm-hmm. You're saying, so this is not gonna work. It is what it is. So yeah, in that aspect, it was just damn, it made me so much prouder of the shit that I've been through.
Yeah.
And it made me feel that's a great way to weed people out. People that can't deal with the shit that you've gone through that's made you who you are. I don't need you around me, period. That's friends, family, relationships, everything.
Yeah, it be killing my situations.
Well, you're a man, so that's expected.
Every positive thing.
That's because you be on here saying shit, and any woman that's watching and you're not talking about them, nigga, who is you talking about?
But this is the thing, though. This is the thing.
Who this for? Because that's my nigga, and we be fucking around every time. Who this for?
This is the thing. What you just say?
Wild shit.
But you just said it's fuck my experience, though, right?
Be fuck your experiences. Fuck the fact that you fucked that lady. This 7 years ago.
This is my thing with women and me on this podcast is that whenever I say something positive about a woman,
they don't bring that up. Huh?
No. Whenever I say something positive about a woman, they assume it's not about them. So if I be like, this bitch gave me the best head I ever had, it's what bitch? You know it wasn't you.
You know it wasn't you because you suck.
But whenever I say something bad,
you suck real bad. Literally.
Whenever I say something bad, they assume it's them, and it's I know a million dumb, annoying bitches. I'm not talking about you.
Damn, that's fucked up. See, and women see how they tell on themselves.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
It would be me texting I did make your day that day. I did, didn't I? He bitch, what the fuck? I was in Kankakee. What?
Yeah, I think that podcasting about relationship shit, it could be a very challenging thing.
Absolutely, especially while you're going through your own discourse in relationships.
Yeah.
We sitting here got to talk about how dating is so positive because that's the episode we chose. Meanwhile,
then every girl be like, as soon as I start dating a new girl, they be like, don't talk about this on the podcast. Like, bitch, you got to do some wild shit to make this podcast.
Yeah, like, why do everybody think they gonna make it? I done had niggas do that too.
Like, you're not gonna make it.
Yeah, so did you ever talk about me on there? Name me one thing that you've done worth mentioning behind this mic.
Like, they don't want to. They be like, don't mention me on the podcast. Like, shorty, you're not even gonna do nothing. You're not even gonna do shit. You're not gonna do shit good or bad enough for me to mention you. But it be the niggas that be like, yeah, I know y'all be on there talking about, don't be. You don't gotta worry about it. You don't gotta worry about it. Like, you're not gonna make the show.
Don't worry.
Break the levee.
Like, you didn't even break the levee. Like, you don't have to worry about that. Or the niggas that'll be like, did you mention me on this? So what you about to do? Go through? You finna go through and see when I was talking about you?
Or they'll scroll through and watch the worst episode they could possibly watch. Like, it'll be an episode that say story time, best sex ever. And this is before I met you. Why would you listen to that?
Why do you even care?
Why would you listen to that?
Why do you even care?
Like, you finna feel this small when you done listening to this shit.
I hadn't even had sex with you yet when I told this story, and now you feel slighted because your sex is not the best I ever had. Because I told you this in 2019. I told the story in 2019, and I fucked you in 21.
Or you finna pop up, or you finna pop up to my house and do some shit that let me know that you heard that episode.
That ain't had shit to do with shit.
Because they be like, bitch, you don't even do this.
It be wild.
You listen to episode 62, bitch, because how did you just pop up with
Now that's the wildest time.
Like, what's crazy? It's crazy.
You listen. You heard that.
It's crazy. All right, so before we wrap this up, what's next for you? What do you...
So next for me, I'm transitioning into my own podcast called Mommy Monologues. I took a minute to decide. I think after a year of being on the Terry Rosen podcast, I think that like the idea has sparked in my brain that I wanted to have my own podcast, but there was just nothing that I was really connecting with. We had gone through a lot of ideas, but nothing that really made me want to be like, oh yeah, I'm finna sit down once a week in front of this camera and record and talk to no one and put it out. I didn't connect with anything. But then it was like, damn, I don't know what happened, but something happened in my life that like sparked the idea to talk about motherhood. And not just motherhood all around, of course, but really single motherhood. I have a 5-year-old, and I literally had to make the best out of my situation, like for real. Like, it was a very, very difficult, very shitty situation. And I really had to make the best of it. So Mommy Monologues is not just gonna be about my story though. I wanna hear other stories from moms, what makes us moms, why being a mom is so important, and why we chose our children. And I'm just creating a safe space for us to thrive in our motherhood. Because it's not easy at all, whether you're a single mama or not. Whether you knew you was gonna be a single mama from the start or that nigga left when your kid was 10, it doesn't matter. We can all relate in some way. So that's what it's about. That's what's next for me. That's it.
For sure.
Yeah.
On the mic.
Who? I don't know that man. Sorry to this man.
Why do you feel like you couldn't continue to be a co-host and do your own separate podcast?
So it wasn't that I didn't feel like I could. I just think the past 2.5 years, me and Terry, like in the very beginning, like from the moment that he asked me to become his co-host, we formulated a plan. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't a plan that we always stayed the course, but I feel like we had an end goal. That's why it was about relationships. And I feel like it's crazy because the season that got the least numbers was the season that made the most sense for what we were trying to do, which was just ride the pinnacles of a relationship. So you date, or you have sex, you date, you get married, engaged, you get married, you whatever may have you. And I think that when I reached that point of getting engaged, it seemed like everything we was talking about, it was like it all paid off. Like, it was like, damn, I reached that, and now he's found another avenue for him that honestly makes more sense for us both. And it was the right time, man. It was just right. It just all lined up perfectly.
I think everything was in alignment because it's like, I always think that somebody that's married on a podcast or on Instagram talking about relationship shit that's not marriage shit is cringy. Like, why do you?
They still on here talking about sex. Like
I mean, every now and then, cool, but like every day, like it's certain niggas that like I see that just like they married, but they talk about like petty level relationship shit, like 50-50 shit.
Like, why you
every
you got a
fucking
wife?
day. Like, why are you this interested in this shit? It's weird once you get in a relationship. If you somebody who going through this experience trying to figure it out, it's a little different. So I feel like once you got engaged, it's like you did all the things, you graduated, right? From that. And on top of that, it's this gender war shit that's happening right now. And like we started doing our thing before that shit started, but because what we talk about is so similar to that, we fit right into it, and I hate it.
Yeah.
So that's another
so
thing.
true.
Like I hate the gender war shit. I hate that talking about a black person with a microphone on a social media platform talking about a relationship is like cringy right now. Even to me, I'm tired of hearing about the shit, and I talk about the shit. So it's like, okay, I'm tired of talking about this shit. I'm tired of the spacing that black podcasters that talk about relationships are in. And Cam's engaged. And it's just time to, you know what I'm saying? It's time to do something different. So she had been talking about doing her own podcast anyway. So it was just, like she said, it was just perfect timing. Like,
So are you about to do something different?
Yeah, I am. I'm about to premiere.
Are you about to get engaged? Is that why you doing something different?
I'm not.
Too far.
I'm not. But
say I'm not engaged.
But I'm about to start a new podcast. Well, not a new podcast. I'm about to rebrand the podcast. It's gonna have a new name. I'm gonna have a new co-host. It's not gonna be about relationships specifically. It's gonna be about male personal development. It's gonna be about the fact that relationships are failing, and I feel like it's men are majority at fault coming from a perspective of a man, right? And that's just because is a man having a solution-based mindset and feeling like whatever situation I'm in, if I take accountability for it, I can get out of it. But it's also understanding that whether we go back through history and we talk about how to yo, my bad, it's just kind of distracting a little bit. But if we go back through history and we talk about how the black family separated, you know, a lot of, when we talk about women being masculine, a lot of that is just the absence of a man. That's really what it comes down to. A person having to fend for themselves in a capitalistic society and in a dangerous society is going to be more tough and things like that. But then we also had this issue where social media makes women feel like a man is supposed to come ready-made. And that's the big thing of this podcast is that this new podcast is going to be called Roses Are Dead, right? And
not in the way you think. That's the exact reaction we want people to have, though.
it's because like romance is dead, right? And when we think about it, like women expect men to come ready-made to be what? You want a man to be a what?
Provider.
And a what? A leader, right? Mm-hmm. So you want a man to be a leader. So where do men learn leadership? Where do men learn how to lead a woman? If you know, most black men are coming from broken homes and a lot of us don't have a father or that example. Even if we have a father, they're not in the same home. Even if some of us who do have a father in the home ain't leading the home. So where the fuck where are we learning how to lead a woman? Like most men learn leadership on basketball courts, football fields, and in corporate offices. But in those cases, we learn how to lead other men. We're not learning how to lead women. So if you never had a man in the house growing up leading your mother, then you don't know how to lead a woman. So the podcast is all about creating a space and a platform for men to learn how to lead. You know what I'm saying? Because if we can't be better partners until we be better people at the end of the day. So it's kind of taking it like, okay, we're not gonna talk about relationships. We're gonna talk about what men need to do better as individuals as it relates to relationship, career, personal development, all of that shit. And my co-host is gonna be, what a nigga at?
What a nigga.
That nigga gone. All right.
Wow.
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Missed his introduction. That's crazy.
Don't even worry about it.
All right, so we're not announcing it. He not here. Moving on.
Cam's Corner.
Let's go.
I have one more
Okay,
question.
one more question, and then she got a question
you
too.
got a question
yep.
too?
So looking back, hindsight, since you guys have been doing the podcast for a couple of years and you both are planning new ventures, when you're planning for your new podcast, do you see like it coming to a climax? Like, since you've already done a podcast and you've seen like, okay, we reached this point in the relationship podcast, we know like, do you when you're planning for your new?
No, not for me. For me, I'm looking at this as completely starting over because I know that a lot of the viewers that are watching me on the Terry Rose podcast are watching me because I'm fine as hell. And now my audience is women. And not just women, mothers. We've narrowed it down again. And yes, I am talking to all moms, but mostly single moms. And now I've narrowed it down again. So I know that my audience, I'm starting anew, completely fresh. I'm not even even thinking about the women that I know are moms. Like, I'm just thinking about a fresh start for myself, a different perspective that people can hear from me, and we're just gonna start over, and that's it. Yeah.
I do think it's important to begin with the end in mind, no matter what you're doing. But in this situation, I don't plan on it ending. I didn't plan on Terry Rosen podcast as it stands ending, because the goal was to take it all the way as high as it could go. But once it's just like a relationship. If it don't make sense, we need to figure out what we're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Because the goal, like in a relationship, for me, for example, my goal is happiness. My goal is not happiness with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that happiness look like, if it look like you for the rest of my life, then let's do that for the rest of my life. But if it can't be that, then it can't be that, and we're not gonna force it to be that. So with Roses I Did, do I ever plan on the ending? No. But if it does, it does. But just like this is ending in a good space where both of us are going into good situations that make more sense for where we are in life right now, if that ever do end, it's gonna end the same way.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
All right, I have a quick question. Real quick, like response.
Talk to the mic.
You said women are looking for, and then you cold call for all women to say providers or leadership.
Yeah.
What if I'm not in search of leadership, but I'm in search of partnership? How do I move like that?
How do you move? You find a nigga that don't want to be a leader. Good luck.
But you don't have to not want to be a leader to be my partner first. Like, you don't have to.
I think she's more so looking for the understanding that you have a partner in me, not just I'm
leaders have partners.
And then I think you don't have to be. You can be a commander and not command in all battles. And I think that takes a real partnership perspective to go with. If you go in thinking you're gonna be a leader, you're gonna always look for somebody to follow you. And
that's not true. That's not true. Leaders delegate tasks all the time. I'm the leader of FC Network. I have a co-founder, right? I'm the leader of FC Network. I delegate a lot of tasks to Jody. Okay. It's shit that Jody's better at, that I'm not. That Jody, you run that shit. Like, Jody asks me what I think. I don't know what I think. You do it. Right? You got it. TJ, finance man. Don't even ask me, bro. Like, just do it. Like, you got it. If we lose, I'm cool with losing with you in that position. Like, right? Like, if this shit go bad, cool. Because it was going to go bad with me for sure. So, like, I take my chances.
Better go bad together. Can blame you too.
So, leadership ain't about authoritative domination, dictatorship. Dictatorship and leadership is different.
So I think what it comes down to is like you need to find someone who also wants a partnership, because there are men out here that only want to lead, and when you do try to step in and you do try to be your own woman and they feel demasculated. They feel less of a man than that. That wouldn't be the man for you.
No, I don't think you need to find a partnership. I think you need to redefine what you feel like is a leader and find a real leader. Don't find a nigga that's trying to dictate. Yeah. You don't need a dictator.
Yeah, true too.
You know what I'm saying?
Because the best leaders are partners though, like, because
they know when they can. Leaders know when they
this is semantics. This is really semantics.
It's all semantics. It's all semantics. It's all semantics.
Somebody might be better at directing traffic than actually being in traffic. So again, that's still a partnership. One hand needs the other. It's like one hand watching the other. They need each other.
Yeah. For sure. But I do think at the end of the day, and this is gonna sound toxic, and I don't give a fuck. I do think at the end of the day,
not toxic.
As a leader, it does come down to somebody has to make a decision. Only one person can drive a car, right? But I do think as a man, if you get with a guy who says like, I'm the leader, I'm gonna make this decision, he should make you feel 100% heard and considered in whatever decision he make. So it's not like you saying left, I'm going right. And I'm like,
And
fuck
we
what
don't
you
agree,
talking about.
right,
I'm going left.
yeah,
It ain't that. It's
yeah.
like, damn, why you think that
Why
way?
you want-
Ooh.
right.
And maybe I
Yeah,
might go
so
this way,
true.
and maybe I might go that way. But I'm gonna hear you 100%. But I need,
true.
if I don't trust me, you gonna stop trusting me. So I gotta trust me at the end of the day.
Yep.
But I hear you.
Man, get your
Yeah.
leader that's gonna teach you how to drive too.
Yeah. For sure.
All that.
You got something?
Yeah. I feel like I was a natural born leader. Like, I lead a group of men. That's what I do for my job, for my work type shit.
Yeah.
But like, I listen to what everybody else got to say. But at the end of the day, I'm still gonna do what the fuck I need to do for us to get out the jam as safe as possible. Everybody good. We gonna all go home to our families type shit. So like, I just feel like as leader, you still at the end of the day, you can hear everything that's going on, but you still gotta make that decision.
Yeah, you gonna consider all that, take it all in.
That makes you a leader. If you can still
Exactly.
hear everything, everybody's opinions and shit, and you can still go, even if it's against the grain,
Yeah.
you still gonna stand on your shit. Like, this is what the fuck we need to do, and everybody gonna follow you. So like,
Mad or
Yeah.
not.
you gotta be
for sure.
right. Whether they agree
Mad or
with you or
not,
not,
for sure.
they
I'm
still
mad you
gonna
listen
follow
to me,
you.
but if
they
your
gonna
way the
ride or
best
die
way,
with you.
shit.
As a leader, if you feel like you're a leader, you can't never feel like you're a leader if you never had nobody
And you
follow
can't let
you.
nobody
Like, people
talk
gotta
you
be
off,
picking up with
talk you
everything,
down
like,
either.
Yeah,
Sure.
like
Like,
people
you
gotta
gotta
pick up.
stand on
Like
that.
people gotta pick up with shit. Like
Yeah.
I've been a leader. I played for football. I played football and all that shit. Like, but
Yeah.
like even that shit came over to me being a man from when I'm at my job, like little league sports, and I'm do my job. I'm a leader. I was a leader. But like, everybody gonna be saying one thing, but everybody gonna follow you at the end of the day. Like, if they not following
If you a true leader.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
For
just
sure.
how it is.
Absolutely. So Cam's Corner, let's do it. The last one.
Oh,
the last Cam's
guys.
Corner of all time. You gonna cry?
I might.
I'm not gonna cry with you.
Oh, guys, Cam's Corner.
I might. Fuck it.
Oh man, let's just both cry, bro. Oh, guys, wow, 2.5 years. Damn, I don't know what to say. It's been amazing, honestly. Shit, it's been amazing.
Where's your iPad?
It's been amazing and it's been unexpected. I did not expect any of this at all. I don't know, like I said, I came on, I did the episode. It was great. It was funny. It was cool. And then he asked me to come be a co-host, and I was like, yeah, but I didn't have any expectations. But now I'm looking back like 2.5 years, like, damn, this shit changed my life, if we're being honest. This shit changed my life. Like, we've traveled, we done had shows. I had never even been to City Winery before until we did our first show there. Like, we done did some shit. Like, I feel like I got a family, y'all. Like, I got a sister. Like, Ramey's not here, but I got sisters. Like, I got niggas that I will call on, and y'all better fucking get out the way. Like, period. Like, for sure. We don't need each other for emergencies. Motherfuckers done spent the night at people's cribs. People done, like, use each other cars. Like, we have been, like, gee, like, what? Watching each other kids is crazy. Like, we have been through the woodworks for real. And it's like, damn, I couldn't be more grateful for something happening so unexpected and being one of the best things that ever happened to me in my life, for sure. Something that, like, I never wanted. Then it'd be like, oh, you meet your family, you meet your good friends, da-da-da-da. I'm damn near not cool with any of them bitches. Like, and I've completely replaced, like, a whole friend group. Like, I got a whole group of friends that's, like, not scattered friends, but, like, we all together. And that all came from me being like, oh, yeah, sure. I'll be your co-host. Like, I'm not doing shit. Fuck it. Yeah. Slide every you down the street. Slide every Monday, whatever. Yeah, I'm there. Fuck it. I get to talk about some shit that I experience. I get to learn. I get to hear the men's opinion. You don't hear the men opinion. When you're in relationships, you hear your man's opinion. You might have a male friend or two. You might have a brother. But are you really listening to them niggas? No. When you around these niggas all the time, constantly, and not only are you just around them, but you're watching them interact and deal with women. You're watching how they interact and deal with you as a woman. These become niggas that you might want to listen to. Like, you might want to listen to at least their perspective. And that meant a lot for me. Like I said, situations that I was in that if I didn't hear y'all perspective, probably would have still been in some unhealthy shit. probably would have still been trying to beat a dead horse, trying to work shit out because that's who I am. No, this shit taught me to pull up my britches, be a big girl, move the fuck on if that's what you're gonna do, work it out and shut the fuck up talking about it if that's what you're gonna do. And that's what it is. Like, but I learned from these people. They taught me to be a better person. They make me a better person all the time. I can count on them. They can count on me. This is 2.5 years of nothing but love and support.
Hey, Cam, before you guys close out.
What's up?
I just want to say I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you for, like I said, when I touched down and I saw you had touched down, and I was touched down before you had touched down. So it was like a new touchdown.
It's a poem. Here we go. Let's go.
It was like, who the fuck is Shorty? But everything was, when I was like, who the fuck is Shorty? But it was like, who the fuck is Shorty? She cool, you know. I appreciate your beauties. I appreciate your brains. I appreciate who you are. I appreciate how you hold shit down. I appreciate your parenting. I appreciate everything about you.
Thank you.
And I don't know why the fuck I'm talking like I'm never gonna see
like
you
you're
again.
like I'm going like that's another thing. Like everybody's like, oh my God, Cam, your last dance.
I don't know why I'm talking like I'm never gonna see you again. But from Boogie for sure. I just appreciate you for being my dog. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
In the most respectful way. I appreciate you for being my dog and just being the individual that you are.
Thank
and just bringing the grace that you bring. It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
And that's something I really mean. Yeah, and it was a few bars.
It
right
was.
there.
I heard them.
Yeah, but I'm gonna just leave. I'm gonna just leave that. That's for later subject. That's for later subject.
Thank you, but you know
Killer Cocks around the clock. We got Killer Cocktails. We got Killer Cocktails in the back for sale.
$5 a cup. Anybody who has gotten a cup since we've been recording, it is $5 a cup.
You know
cash is preferred. I love a cash. But if it's Zelle, that's fine too. I love a cash.
Wire transfers.
Yeah, that's cool. Whatever.
Whichever.
So I don't want nobody to leave or get up out of here because Cam is about to premiere her first episode of Mommy Monologues.
I just need 20 minutes of you all's time.
Before we close out though, I do want to say I appreciate you. It was times in the podcast to where, everybody wanted to come on. Everybody thought it was I want to get my shit off my chest podcast and just talk some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in a space to where it was growing, but it wasn't a staple to the point where, people would book I'm gonna come on this day and not show up and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
I never really wanted a co-host. When you came on and like the conversation was so smooth and it brought more out of me because it's like, okay, I'm sitting across from a woman who's not biased, who got sense, who got like a brain. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it's crazy out here. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, okay, like this makes sense. Like this made me better at what I'm doing in this episode. Mm-hmm. So I picked the right person. I picked the perfect person as a co-host, and it really skyrocketed. Like nobody really watches the numbers but me. But like it really
and
just
Jody.
went to
Don't leave out Jody.
A whole different level. Facts. It really just went to a whole different level. And I appreciate that. Like this wouldn't be what it is. I wouldn't be where I'm at if I didn't have you as a co-host. So that's huge. And like you can't, like, and I tell you a lot of the time, like everyone on FC Network can talk about like, FC Network and what they got from it and what the way I might have benefited them. But it's like, bro, y'all niggas. Like you can't repay somebody for bringing you close to your dream. There's nothing that you can do to repay somebody for bringing you close to your dream. There's no dollar amount. There's nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like a life indebted, like whatever you need anytime. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's for all of y'all. But it's as far as the Terry Rosen podcast, like you definitely made it what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like for sure. And one of my biggest things that I learned, and I say this all the time, if you want something to grow, surrounded with women. You know what I'm saying? Like when you came, Jody came, Remy locked in.
They're fertile. They fertilize. They
this
there you go.
This guy.
They grow.
This guy.
That's what they do.
He took it there. He took it there.
You plant seeds and they
grow.
Yeah.
They watch them and they make sure they grow into the fullest.
And it's also the level of loyalty, the lack of testosterone to want to compete with you and to want to help you.
Yeah,
and to want to
true.
genuinely
So
help
true.
you and
Yep.
not try to be better
Compete
than
with
you.
Yep.
And think of some type of end goal, ulterior motive. It's like the genuineness of a woman being in a space to where she wants to help build things. So I appreciate you. I don't even know better words to say that, but I'm a wordy nigga, but that's all I got.
You're not that wordy.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it for sure. I appreciate it. And like you say, that getting you closer to your dream, you birthed something that I didn't even know that I desired to have. So I appreciate that as well.
For sure. So I'm gonna get the fuck out of your way.
All right, get out my way.
That's the end of Terry Rosen podcast.
Bye.